Joining me is Reena Pushkarna. She's an Indian entrepreneur, chef and restaurateur. Now, Reena Pushkarna was born in New Delhi to a Sikh Punjabi father and a Jewish mother. She moved to Israel nearly 40 years ago, where she has since opened a chain of restaurants specializing in Indian cuisine. Reena Pushkarna is famously known as the Curry Queen. Welcome to DD India. How do you see the evolution of the ties between India and Israel?
After Prime Minister Modi ji's visit to Israel, the famous historical visit, Indians have started visiting Israel. I mean, we've had groups galore just before the COVID, and people were shocked at how they were being welcomed into Israel. This is your Aam Aadmi, your normal tourist from Israel who visited all over Europe and America. But for Israel, coming to Israel was something new for them. Seeing the three different religions at one point in Jerusalem was amazing and was like historical. You had a lot of Muslim brothers from India visiting Israel. You had a lot of Hindus and a lot of Christians, of course. So pilgrimage was one of the important points of the bilateral relationship. And I'm so happy that we are celebrating 30 years of relationship. And this is not just a relationship in name. So it's like heart-to-heart relationship, which is being taken across by the different business community of this country, whether again it's to do with arms or whether it's to do with technology or whether it's to do with agriculture, which Israel is leading with.
Is Indian cuisine popular in Israel? Any particular food that Israelis love to eat?
Well, firstly, let me tell you, Israelis used to eat a lot of meat, used to. Today, 30% of the population are vegan. That's really going into extreme. Yeah. So tandoori was very, very popular. First, they used to think, what is this red chicken coming out, chicken tikka? So I would be standing on one side and explaining to my boys, serve it complimentary. And the next time they came, they visited the restaurants, they would order my red chicken. That's actually the chicken tikka. And that continued. Then a whole generation grew up on my chicken tikka and my chicken kasturi, and they called it the white chicken and the red chicken. That's how tandoori started in Israel. They never knew what was buffet. That was the first time I came out with a buffet lunch and a brunch, and it was first time that Israel experienced cocktails. Today you have bars in every corner serving cocktails, but I had my boys from the Oberois dishing out beautiful cocktails. So it was like gourmet cuisine coming into Israel for the first time. Of course, the Israelis today and Israel have moved ahead from chicken tikka to tikka masala. So today they want that same red chicken in a sauce. And of course, they're looking for vegan menus, and they are amazed at the variety of vegan dishes that we can serve them without paneer or without any milk. Because as you know, Israel is also known for its kosher cuisine. And I had opened the first Indian kosher in the world, Kohinoor. That is, the calf cannot be cooked in its own mother's milk. That's really the basis of it. And then you have a rabbi, which is like a pandit, on the premises, guiding you and keeping an eye on you on how you move with the food. And basically, that's how I started. And that's how we've moved ahead today to even a very popular takeout, which is being done actually by my son Kunal, which is Israeli pitas and chicken tikka and fish tikkas and sikh kebabs in a pita. So it's Indian cuisine in a pita, Israeli pita. And that's what's very popular. It's being called tikka pika. And then they did not know what was thali. And now we've had our boys coming in and serving thali on your table, which is a refill, and they're very excited about it.
You've hosted many leaders at your restaurants, but there are two interesting anecdotes that stand out. The first is, as we now know, Benjamin Netanyahu took Sara Netanyahu on their first date to your restaurant in Tel Aviv. And of course, there's the famous anecdote about how the Oslo Peace Talks could be traced back to your restaurant.
The European newspapers quoted it as peace talks heat up over hot curry. So here again, India had a hand to play.
Oh.
All over food, Indian food. Come on, where in the world do you get a chance to do things like this over a foreign cuisine in a foreign country, not being India? It's an honor and it's amazing. When we had that famous dinner in 2017, where Prime Minister Netanyahu hosted Prime Minister Modi, and he called me and introduced me to Modi ji, and Modi ji started laughing. He says, I already know Reena because I had overseas friends of BJP over here in Israel. And he says, let me tell you a small story. The first date that I took Sara on 25 years ago was over Indian food at Reena's restaurant in Tel Aviv.
It's been fascinating talking to you. Thank you.